guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host, Donald Wonder. I'm going to speak about another graphic novel that was recommended by the awesome artist Kimono Joe. Thank you, Kimono Joe. That podcast we did all those years ago, you guys need to check it out because he recommended some quality titles, and this is another one. Now, the one I'm going to speak about today is a superhero title because I speak about a lot of manga, a lot of fiction graphic novels. But why haven't I spoken about Superman, Batman, and stuff like that? Well, it's not like I have anything against them, but I prefer to watch Superman and Batman and the Marvel stuff animated. The comics, they go on forever and they've always got long-running storylines. But this book is the exception to the rule because there's a few superhero stories that are kind of stand-alone, 4 or 5 issues that just tell one story, and this is one of them. But this is even more different because it's got a certain meta element that makes it very special. Let's get into it.
Tyro Media.
Guys, we're talking about Superman Secret Identity. Superman Secret Identity is a very nice take on the Superman mythos because it's set in, let's say, our world, the world where we, superheroes are in comic form, they're complete fiction, and that's where this story's set in. Superman is a comic book character in this world, and the main plot has got to do with this kid who's raised in Kansas, in a Smallville, in this world, and his parents are big fans of the Superman comic book series. They're such big fans, they decide to name their son Clark Kent. And for someone who has a very famous name myself in real life, I understand what it's like giving a name of a popular fictional character. So he grows up Clark Kent in this world, kind of being ridiculed, kind of being teased by his friends in school. Come on Clark, you're gonna fly? Come on Clark, are you gonna run really fast? He's teased in school. He doesn't like the fact he's been named after Clark Kent. It's just a headache for him. His parents think it's a big job, but he just doesn't. It's just causing him nothing but aggravation. He's not really getting bullied, but he's a bit of a loner as well. He hangs out by himself, has got a girlfriend. And then one day he goes camping. He likes to take these long walks by himself. He goes camping one night and he figures out that all of a sudden he can fly. Wow. And he soon finds out he's actually got all the powers of Superman, which is very just weird and coincidental. A kid named Clark Kent ends up having the powers of Superman, who's a comic book fictional character. And when I heard the story that Kimono Joe sold it to me, I thought, this is very interesting, and I wonder what they're going to do, because I thought maybe it was going to be a comedy, but this is not a comedy. This is actually a really good drama, which puts a real person in the position of, what if you had the powers of Superman, what would you do? And another good thing about this story is it chronicles all through this character's life, Clark Kent, who is not Clark Kent, who's just a boy who has the powers of Superman. And because we're not in the Justice League world, he's on his own, and he has to deal with coming to grips with learning how to become a superhero, not even becoming a superhero, but just a hero, just using his powers to help people because he's a nice kid. And because of that, the government get involved, and I'm not going to get into spoilers, but there's a mystery element to the series. How the hell did he get his powers? Because he's obviously not from Krypton, because Krypton is complete fiction in this universe. So where does his powers come from? And I have to say, I was thoroughly impressed with this book. This is what I've always wanted to see. In my mind, Superman as a superhero is a story they always try to make more interesting by giving him human problems. This book is a human Superman with human problems, with no help. And I just found this to be very grounded, very interesting, and very thought-provoking. And all the blasé, all the fan service we see in superhero stories, it's not here. This is as grounded as a superhero book can get, and I appreciate that. There's so much thought put into, you know what, actually I would say it's more of an adult's read. I think the older generation of Superman fans are gonna like it, so just older people in general, because all that superhero fanfare is not here. We get a much more adult themed, thought-provoking look at becoming a superhero, this guy growing up as a man, what this means, how he fits in with the world, saving people. This is just a very, very mature book. This is exactly what I've always wanted to see from Superman. And in this case, I've got my cake and I ate it too, because I always want to see Superman having these thoughts, not having to deal with all the blasé of Lex Luthor and all this stuff. And this book does that exactly, but it builds up a good mystery. and it has great romance. Man, I bought the book, guys, and the artwork is stunning. The artwork in this book is stunning. I tried to put a picture on the screen, but the artwork in this book is absolutely gorgeous. There's some shots, especially in the last volume, there are some shots I would love to show you, but I don't want to get into spoilers. I absolutely love this book. The only criticism, not even a criticism really, is that this is a 4-volume book, and when I bought it, I got this actually, it was quite expensive, and I thought I was going to get the whole story in one chunk, but I actually had to buy volume 1 to 4, or issue 1 to 4. Apologies guys, you guys don't flame me in the comments, I made a mistake. Although we're talking about the physical graphical novel, I actually stopped reading that and I read the digital version because I had both, and I didn't even realize the physical version I do have is all 4 volumes in one, but it was so thin I actually got confused and thought I only had 1 volume, but only after doing the recording I looked at it again and I went, oh shit, I do have all 4 volumes. So disregard what I said about it being not good value for money, very cheap, all 4 in one trade paperback. Big mistake, I do apologize guys, so disregard me saying that it's separate volumes at all, because I think you can only get it in one collection anyway at this point. But this one was a solid recommendation. It's really highly acclaimed, and I have to give it, as a rating, I'm going to give it a first class. This is everything I would want in a Superman story, and it's not a Superman story per se. It's a very meta take on a superhero with the powers of Superman. So this is very unique. I don't feel like you have to know Superman to know the story. It stands outside of that, and it stands out for the fans who want a mature, thought-provoking superhero story. This is it, under the Superman mantle, which really does just help the franchise give Superman, the mythos, more character development, and it's just a great story. I can go on and on. And I do want to say, as a side note, there are some other isolated Superman stories, like Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, which is apparently the best Superman story of all time. I'm gonna do a video on that one in time, people. Superman Red Sun. I've already talked about All-Star Superman, which is fantastic as well. And I think there's another one, I can't remember right now. But there's a lot of single issue, just on their own superhero stories, which I'd love to get into, which I probably will. So guys, if you have a recommendation for that, leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'm getting confused. But I love this one, Kimono Joe, great recommendation. I've got a couple more books that you recommend that I actually bought, so thank you. And guys, as you can see, if you give a good recommendation, we might not review everything, but if it's thought-provoking and we like it here on Planet Tyro, we're going to talk about it. So as I said, leave a comment down below, let us know what you think. If you've already read the book, if you like it, you hate it, whatever. And as you can see on the right here, we've got annotations to all the other stuff we do on that Planet Tyro, movies, books, TV shows, animation. Right now, I am in the graphic novel phase, which is why I've been focusing on that for a while. Graphic novels can be really thought-provoking, especially when they're mature like this. But enough said, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. So until then, take care. Peace.